Kia ora. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into your August 2016 Taroscope readings with me. They've taken a while to kind of get round to uploading for the August ones, and I thought to myself, I wonder why, why haven't I been able to get into them and do them? So I did a little bit of research thinking there must be some information that needs to be looked into for August, and I found that there is in fact a partial eclipse in August, which on a lot of the astronomical sites doesn't even really mention because they call it a nearly there eclipse. It is on the 18th of August and it won't be particularly visible from Earth because it just about eclipses the moon, but they call it it's because of the conjunction on the same day. Venus and Mercury are in conjunct, and that is about the essence of communicating love. And this nearly there penumbral lunar eclipse is called, the position that it falls in is known as the top of the finger of God. So it's a very rare, barely there eclipse, and it links itself into a series called the Saros cycle. The previous one was on August the 8th, 1998. So it links into very long periods of cycles, and they date themselves back to 2,222 years ago. So I thought to myself there was a lot of synchronicity and energy within the numbers of this barely there eclipse. Also that it ties in with the conjunction of Venus and Mercury, which are about communicating love, and the fact that this falls on the top of the finger of God energy. There could be some profound things happen in August for some people, and particularly in the areas of love and awareness and opening and connection. Now remember, love is self-love as well, which is also very important, because until you inspire yourself with self-love, it's very difficult to love others. So anyhow, I thought that's how we would open the beginning of the tarot readings for August, with that information on board. So consequently, I have decided to use the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. I will do the same format as last month. That's 4 cards on the top with 4 underneath, which are the affirmation cards, or the cards that give clarity. So, hey there Sagittarius. Hey, thanks guys for joining me for your August reading with the John Holland Colour Infused deck. Let's do a little bit of shuffling for you and then see what's in store. You know the layout, the 4 cards at the top and the 4 clarifying underneath. So this is for Sagittarius for August. A little bit more shuffling. One more. Okay, let's see what's in store for you guys. Shadow. Sacral chakra. Choose wisely. Heartache and loss. Crown chakra. Intuition. Memories of love. And light. I've been so overjoyed to see the light come out so many times for the month of August, because it is the most magnificent and empowering card of the deck, and he certainly has done a beautiful rendition of it with all those sparkling stars and rays of light shining up. So we have for you 5 major arcana cards, and because we consider the chakra cards as being major arcana. Number 18, the shadow card, is the moon card in the traditional Rider Waite, and number 2, the intuition card, is the high priestess card, and of course number 19, the light, is the sun card. So you have got the sun and the moon in the one reading, which I hadn't thought about before, and it starts off with the moon, and we talked about this barely there penumbral lunar eclipse that is coming, and your August starts off with that very ecliptical card with the exact date, the 18th, which it's occurring on the 18th of August. So my guess is that you Sagittarians are up for quite some sort of shift through this very special and very rare eclipse. And remember, it was called the Finger of God. Now the interesting thing too about Sagittarians is You are one of the most esoteric and intellectual of the whole 12 zodiac signs, and you are often spurred into this very deep connection to the universal energies and the ponderings of what is it all, what is God, how do I connect with God? And so then you can become quite philosophical and very spiritual. So it doesn't surprise me too that you have received the 2 chakra wheels in this reading as well, because there's definitely some connection for a lot of you, and not everyone, of course. These are general readings, but for some of you, this whole finger of God barely there, penumbral lunar eclipse, that's a mouthful, could be quite significant. So bear that in mind at your own personal level as you work through the month of August, and also remember that eclipses have power for many months beforehand as well, and also afterwards. So let's start with that very first week, which is pretty powerful. So we start with the shadow card, which is the moon card, which I'm talking about the eclipse for you anyhow, and then your affirming card underneath is the crown chakra. So the crown chakra is literally this area up here on the card, is the top of your head, and there is this light being shone onto your head. It's as if you are getting some sort of powerful illumination at a very deep spiritual level. So some of you could almost be struck like by a thunderbolt type thing, and empowered somehow with illumination. The other thing about the shadow card is it's very much about psychic ability and tuning into the collective conscious and clairvoyant realms and dreamscapes and astral travel. Now, some of this might not even interest many of you, but for those of you who are already into or on this journey or partially understanding it, you could find this a really neat time and a really engaging time. So the crown chakra is the center at which we are given all of our stimulation from the universe. It's kind of like where you receive the desires to be religious, or which faith you are going to follow. It's where you get your faith. It's where you get your understanding of the order of the universe, and you are being delivered it big time. So it's what enables people like previous people who have walked the earth, the likes of the Buddha and Christ, who were enlightened. That's where they got it from, these 2 sources, through the power of the head and the crown chakra and the energies of the universe. So that's a really, really big way to start. I'm quite envious. I'm not a Sagittarian at this point in time, because I think it could be a really neat experience you're going to go through. Remember too that the shadow card talks about our always the other side of us, and realizing it and acknowledging it and getting in connection with it. So if there's a part of you that you've been hiding from or pretending it doesn't exist, you need to connect with it again, because when we connect with our light and dark sides, we are acknowledging us as a whole being, and that enables us to grow and glow and shine and learn more. So there are always pieces, light and dark, male and female, yin and yang. Without one cannot happen without the other. So the collective bringing together of your whole being is a really important step in moving forward as well. So we move to the sacral chakra, another fantastic area of the body that is powerful and energetic and potent. We could literally stick that on it. It's a very similar colour. So this is all through just in the lower stomach area, and it's really important to have that physically firm, so good strong ab muscles and lower abdominal muscles. It's also the sex zone of the body, so this could tie into your sexuality one way or another. So it could also tie into hormonal cycles. So for younger people coming into puberty, and this especially can happen around the times of eclipses, also for older women coming into menopause. So check your hormones are balanced well and that's all flowing. It could also have to do with people needing or wanting to get pregnant. You may have to look into areas there to help engage fertility. But it's a time when, if you focus on that sacral chakra energy area, you will build and strengthen it and harmonize it. It gives us great power. It is the powerhouse of the physical body. So it's well worth strengthening and bonding with. And right underneath it we have intuition again. So the whole 4 cards there are so intrinsically linked. In that first quarter of the month, it's like you are definitely cycling along some intuitive whole brand new plane of life and knowledge and information. I think this card kind of speaks for itself. She is the High Priestess in the deck. She works particularly well there with the moon. They have very similar features about them. And on the Rider Waite, she also has an ecliptical moon around her. She is about fertility as well and sexual cycles. So there's a whole bunch of hormonal and physical body cycles going on for you guys as well. So for each of you it will be different and independent, and for some of you it will need focusing on and rebalancing, and for others of you it's a signal to say everything is up and running and go, go, go. And if you want to conceive a pregnancy, these are times when these issues would probably be able to happen quite quickly. This can also be about times of very heightened sexual activity, as this shows up here. Some of you might be going into new sexual realms one way or another, whether this is with new partners or learning sexually about yourself and exploring more issues as well and avenues. So we come to the 3rd week and we see 6, 7 and 6, the same colour cards again. So you've had all the way down, you've had same colour, same colour, same colour. So there's synchronicity in your reading. There's things about colour, there's things to think about, these energies. They're all combining, they're T-junctioning and parallel junctioning. But coming back to here, choose wisely, and this is memories of love. So there seems to be a lot of attraction around you in August. It's as if other people are coming on the scene, people from the past, maybe ex-lovers. Maybe this is what this whole sexual thing might be about as well. There's the potential there to pick up with an ex-lover or an ex-partner, or be reignited with someone from the past. That doesn't have to be sexual, it could be friends or family you haven't seen for a long time. But this card is cautioning you, and it's telling you, be careful who you associate with, which decisions you make in all areas. So this is romance, friendships, jobs, career, money, everything. And sometimes people from the past may not be the ones to pick. So think about that. You'll get your own personal message as to which is the best situation going on there. We come to the very 4th week and we see this heartache and loss, and she holds this little red heart in the inner part just below her waist in exactly this sacral chakra area. So you've got quite a few messages going on about the sex centers and the sacral chakra energy. Remember too that wearing orange, eating orange foods and meditating with the sacral chakras will really bounce that energy up. The heartache and loss could be that you feel someone is moving away from you, and it might be a relationship that you have placed a lot of time, energy and love into, but it needed to happen. And sometimes they move away, but not necessarily forever. They can come back. Also, this can be a time where sometimes we see divorces happening, where it has been a relatively long-term relationship and it's moving away. Sometimes there can be 3 people who were involved, and that's found out somehow, and it doesn't fit the paradigm of the relationship, how you would like it to be. But your clarifying card is the light, and she is under here pushing up every single positive force to you. So whatever the outcome, whether it's a temporary issue that is resolved, and it can possibly be resolved with words, because remember this is a swords card, and swords are about communication. So if you spend a bit of time trying to work through with this with logical communication, not emotional distortion, so you use intellect and proper communication, whether it's written or verbal or whatever, there is a possibility that it may be rectified. And if it is, it will be helped from this light energy from below. But if it isn't rectified and it does move away for whatever reason, permanently or not, know that it has been done so to bring in light at a greater level for you, so that this needed to happen. It wasn't going to be serving you in the best way as you move forward, that there is better coming, because this card offers every single positive perspective of life. It is life. It is the essence of life. So it's love, light, support, nurturing, harmony, good health, prosperity, abundance of joy, ecstasy, bliss, whatever positive word you can think of, that is what the light card offers. And it also offers that energy right through the whole reading as well. So Sagittarians, you have got yourself one mighty as reading, and I hope you all really enjoy it and work through those energies that are coming your way. Kind of connect with them if you can, and you may learn an awful lot about the universe and these esoteric energies that so many of you are actually quite interested in. So thank you all for listening and joining and subbing and liking. It's a privilege for me to be able to do the readings for you. So before we finish, we of course have one more card. So I will put these ones away, move the little crystals off, and we will see what your last card is. Almost don't need the last card because that was so kind of informative and powerful. But these are the surrender cards, and we will just see what they are suggesting for you to surrender for the month of August. Surrender your ego. So ego is something that we have to have in the physical plane because it's a very humanistic it's a humanistic energy. Our ego is what keeps us sustained here on earth, but there are ways of using ego in appropriate ways, and a lot of us can get over-egoed, and we hear it a lot. And you know, the big celebrities like the Kardashians and people like that, they have these massive egos. They don't actually need those egos to still sustain who they are and what they're doing. So ego is important, but it's important that it's retained in its perspective. So the message of this card is: cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. And that is a really beautiful card, and it is a beautiful message. You know, gratitude is another of the words that you could use as being the energy of the light, or the sun card. When we have gratitude, everything in our lives seems so much more pleasant and harmonious and fulfilling and loving. So there is, as I say, there is nothing wrong with ego, but it's the big egos that need to just be balanced again with things like gratitude and humility and love and light. So guys, again, thank you very, very much. You have had a charming reading, and it's been a pleasure to do it for you. So I wish you all much insight and kapow energy for August. Take care, everyone. Have a great month ahead, and I look forward to being with you all again for September. Ka Kite Anoa, much Aroha, namaste.